Multiple people were booked. Multiple people allegedly did this, and the only one we're talking about
Because he fled
is the Israeli guy.
because he was
and
allowed
if we
to
want to
leave
have,
the-
if we want to go down the rabbit hole of who the goat of pedophilia is, look no further than the Catholic Church. So I'm not sure what game you're playing right now.
Okay,
but
see,
if you're trying to make it out
I'm
like
I'm happy you went there because this is the problem. This is the problem that you
Yes,
can't
go ahead.
address. Is
I addressed the problem. He's a
You
scumbag.
said, no, but you
Throw him
said
in jail.
you said everybody.
But you fell for the
No,
headline.
no. By the way, this
All right, so huge scandal came out where a huge Israeli official just got caught in a child sex scandal. Huge news. It was like breaking news. And the fact of the matter is, guess who on the PBD podcast is sticking up for this Israeli official? You guessed it, Adam Sosnick. And you know, I find it really hard to believe that he's America first because he seems to be getting extremely defensive about these Israelis no matter what they freaking do. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel, and let's watch this video right now and you can see for yourself.
This isn't just some low-level tech nerd. This is the acting head of data and AI for Israel's National Cyber Directorate. Okay, he works directly under Bibi Netanyahu, okay? And that arrest, Pat, that sting operation, which was the FBI, Homeland Security, and Nevada Police, they targeted these sex predators. He was in town. Remember that time we were in Vegas? They were doing that hacker, black hat hacker. It's the biggest hacker conference in the world. He was there. He's a part of AI. He was booked at Henderson Detention Center and charged with a felony for luring a child online for sex. Okay, that normally goes from 1 year to 20 years in prison. But the next day, and just like I think a couple of the guys as well, because there's 8 of them, posted a $10,000 bond. And despite he has zero diplomatic immunity, he got to go back to Israel. Netanyahu's office put out a statement saying that he was not arrested. He was only questioned, but multiple sources.
You know, this is crazy because Netanyahu said he was just questioned. He didn't say he wasn't arrested, I don't think. He just said he was questioned. But guess what? It came out that he was arrested and the Israeli consulate was informed about him. All this news came out afterwards. These guys lied to our face over and over again, and people still stand up for them.
Guys, The Guardian, Jerusalem Post, Israel, Times of Israel, and all confirmed, everybody, including the Henderson County. Rob, you have the police actual arrest that I put? That's the guy. That's him. Okay, he was really booked. This is no BS hearsay. He wasn't the only one caught. Among the other suspects was Pastor Neil Harrison Creasy of Redemption Church in Las Vegas.
And let me tell you something else. When the FBI gets you, you're pretty much you're guilty. They have a very high conviction rate, the FBI. When they find you, they're like 99% sure they caught the right person. So trust me, this man was guilty, and a lot more details came out today that I'll go over in a little bit.
Vegas, weird. He was also arrested in the sting. He resigned from his church shortly after being released from the same $10,000 bond. Here's my only problem, guys. If you're a foreign national and you're trying to lure a child in America to have sex, you don't post bail and leave. Normally, Pat, because I did a lot of research, your passport is seized, your travel is restricted, and you're considered a flight risk, okay? The fact that he was let to go back to Israel within 24 hours means somebody, federal government, I don't know, Rob, can we try to find out who is the district attorney of Henderson County? And that's actually a really good question, in Las Vegas. It's just weird, Pat. You can't, none of those other guys, even if they posted bail, you can't leave the country.
All those other guys have to come for the court hearings, and they will most likely go to jail. Now, this guy's name is Tom Alexandrovich. Could you imagine if his name was like Muhammad or Ahmed, right? It's a wrap. It's a wrap. The benefit of the doubt these guys give these people, man, I swear.
Because who's to say that you're not going to be able to come back? You can't just leave. They're supposed to take your Tom, do you know, like, you're supposed to take your passport.
Yeah, there's flight risk. Bail is directly related to flight risk. Like Diddy, they said he's got all these private planes. He could go to Belize. He could go to somewhere. Remember that?
Yeah.
Now, he was acquitted of many of the charges, and there's some of the smaller ones that he was guilty of. But the whole discussion about Diddy's bail was flight risk.
Yeah, we don't want you to leave the country. And it's just...
More importantly, we want you to show up at the appointed time for your trial.
Yeah, and exactly, because who's to say, like, and I know they have, there's a watch group called the Jewish Community Watch, which has tracked over 60 people who are accused of sex abuse who fled back to Israel. The activists have said the real number is like around 100 with rabbis and teachers and all that stuff. There's a case of Malka Leifer, Leifer, who fled to Australia in 2008 after was abusing more than 70 girls. Okay, 70 girls. And this just shows you that Israel can drag out the extradition because we have an extradition treaty, but sometimes they're like, nah, we'll deal with it here. She wasn't sent back till 2021.
See, I wasn't even sure that they had an extradition treaty because the fact of the matter is there have been many, many cases, and I'm sure many of you in the comments know this. People that get caught in pedophile stuff in America, they run to Israel because that's where they find safe haven and they're protected there. They literally pay off the police officers and stuff and whatever agents, and they flee to Israel and they find safe haven. It's a known thing. There's a lot of videos on this actually.
And only in 2023 she was finally convicted. So here's my thing: who gives the okay for someone who was arrested for that?
So say the other story you said about Australia.
What is that? So Malka Leifer fled Australia in 2008.
Yeah.
She was alleged for abusing 70 girls.
Yeah.
She went to Israel. She was an Israeli citizen. And they kept her there, and she didn't come back to face authorities in Australia till 2023.
Meaning Israel didn't release him.
Israel was like, Israel, yeah.
They kept him.
They kept.
Our best ally, our closest ally in the Middle East, right? Some ally.
They keep him there.
So your argument here is,
how do you leave?
Why did they release? Where is he at now?
He's in Israel.
Now, where is he today?
Who?
Tom Alexandrovich.
Tom's in Israel. They let him go back to Israel.
He was arrested.
And he's on leave.
The luring child, released custody, has returned to Israel. Okay.
He's on leave, but he's not arrested.
Adam, what's your thoughts on this story?
First, I'm hearing it, but what's your point?
My point
Oh, BS first, I'm hearing it.
is how, when anybody charged a foreign national, if right now, God forbid, one of us got in trouble for something like this, which I'm just being, I'm just playing devil's advocate. Your passport and everything is, every single one of those 8 guys, your passport has to be taken at him because right now you're charged for trying to have sex with an underage kid, which, by the way, that what they were trying to do was 16 or under. Actually, it was under 16. What's to stop you from leaving the country and never coming here to face the charges? Because these are serious. This is a serious felony charge, and especially.
Someone in the government let him go because he's an Israeli official. This is why I wear this hoodie right here. Look at this hoodie. It says Israeli occupied territory and has a picture of the White House. I love this hoodie. It's one of the most comfortable hoodies. I'm actually supporting a subscriber who makes this hoodie. So if you want this hoodie, you can get in the link in the description below. But this hoodie is sneaky and it's so true. It's savagery.
Is the freaking #1 hacker guy, which horrible at his freaking job for covering his tracks. How was he allowed to leave the country and his passport not frozen?
What do you have thoughts on this?
I a couple things, and you said a couple words here. We always are very careful to be very fair.
Of course.
So right now, he was questions, and these are allegation pending charges, but he wasn't charged.
I like Tom. He really, he's one of the smartest. He is the smartest guy on this on PBD podcast for sure, by a mile. But the thing is, why are they giving the benefit of the doubt? Are they scared? Are they scared if they say the wrong thing that, oh my God, the Israelis are going to come after them or something, or they're going to cancel them? Because of the fact of the matter is, he would not be giving the same benefit of the doubt if it was some dude named Ahmed. I'm telling you, they talk about pedophilia all the time, and which they should. They should. But why is it when it's some Israeli official, all of a sudden there's double standards, there's the benefit of the doubt, there's, we should know the full story first. And by the way, now it's time to give you guys some of the details that came out since. This guy was charged, and if I gave you some of the details about this guy, he was caught texting a little girl who was acting like she's 15 years old. She was the part of the whole scam, the FBI, thing to capture these pedophiles. She was acting like a 15-year-old. She was on this app. He knew darn well her age, and he went to meet her in a public place with, how do I say this on YouTube, man? With protection. He came with protection. He got caught red-handed, right? And he was in that area. He spoke with her. He even agreed to what his name was in these dating apps and everything. It was caught red-handed. It's not allegations. This dude was caught. And like I mentioned earlier, when the FBI gets you, bro, it's a very high conviction rate. You're done. They caught you. You're guilty. Done.
So it appears that somebody that works for an Israeli government agency gets into some alleged trouble over here and gets detained for questioning, also known as arrested.
And by the way, when this guy got caught, one of the first things he said is, "Oh, I got to contact someone in the Israeli consulate," or something along those lines. Which is to say that, man, these guys know that Israel's got their back. I was like, "Oh, I got caught. I don't care about these dudes. Let me just call my people real quick." Like, they're really not scared, man. These people just don't care. They're like, "Yeah, I can just go back to my homeland."
Regarding sex, and solicitation of sex trafficking with minors.
Yes.
He does not get indicted, and he just goes back to Israel at the appointed time. And the outrage that you're feeling, that I see, is, wait a minute, did the Israeli government have a guy working for one of their departments that gets on, into some allegations and some hot water here, and they just
Not just a guy working in their departments. This guy was a head of a department. I believe he came to the U.S. and he was even attending some meetings with the NSA, the FBI. Dude, this guy is meeting with the FBI and NSA, and he gets caught by the FBI. Like, what is this?
get him back to Israel and say, look, he's not going to be charged. Let's get this guy out of here. Yeah. That's what it looks like to me. So be careful with charge.
I just want to read you this. According to The Guardian, felony charges confirmed.
Yeah,
Nevada authorities have officially charged him with a felony, luring a child with a computer for sex act, a serious offense under Nevada law.
Yes.
His case was detailed in official court documents.
Like I mentioned, he was charged as black and white. FBI don't mess around, bro.
Documents and report by reputable news outlets. His biography confirms he was charged in a $10,000. Okay.
Perfect. Then we were correct. This article from Jerusalem Post says
I'm glad you're doing that, Tom, by the way.
Yeah, no, I love that.
I'm glad you're doing this.
And again, look at the bias from the Jerusalem Post. They said he was questioned, just trying to hide the fact that he was arrested. When you're detained and questioned, brother, that means you're arrested.
For sure. But the question becomes this. If it's charged, so Nevada releases him on $10,000 bail, which is not a lot of money.
No.
So he's trying to lure a child.
Yes.
And nothing has happened that they've caught?
No.
No. I mean, I don't know when they did this they did this podcast, I believe, yesterday. Maybe the news didn't come out yet. No, he was caught, bro. He was caught red-handed. He was caught choosing a place to meet with her, and they've exchanged some, dirty words together, and he came with protection. So, yeah, he was caught red-handed.
Mind you, this was a sting operation that they've been trying to get these guys, 8 of them, for FBI Homeland Security. So it's a sting operation. He thought that he was going to hook up with an underage child. So they catch them in this thing.
And once he gets caught, all of a sudden is, I didn't know she was under 18. What all of them say. He knew darn well she was 15 or she was acting to be 15.
They arrest them. They charge them because of this report.
We've seen those things. And the guy, like 10 guys come jumping out of the apartment and pin you down.
And mind you, I tried looking up what the other 6 did, Pat. None of their job. I wanted to put everybody on blast. Rob, could you grab all of them so we can show all 8 of them? Show all 8 of the guys. One of them, like I said, is a pastor. He's been fired. So now these are all the other ones are Americans. So they're here. You post the bond. You have a court date. Just like I'm pretty sure this Tom guy has a court date, but he's back in Israel. Okay? You shouldn't be able to leave this country with a serious felony charge like that, period, unless somebody was like, hey, listen, this guy works for our government. He works under, Bibi Netanyahu. We got to get him.
Says Hoodie, Israeli occupied territory. Get it before it gets banned, baby.
We got to get him back.
Why'd they let him go?
That's you tell me, Adam. That's my only question.
So I do have feelings on this now because it's. I hear what you're saying, and I know how passionate you are about pedophilia. If this guy allegedly did what he did, throw this scumbag in jail.
I know.
But here's also the problem.
Oh, when you say but, everything you say before that just goes out the window. Okay, Adam, we know where you stand here already.
That I have. It's Israeli cyber director headline. Here we go. Oh, by the way, there were 7 other scumbags that were arrested again. One was a little bit of pastor. 7 other guys. We don't need to talk about them. Let's talk about.
See, that is such an idiotic argument, man. Because the reason why the Israeli guy is in the news and he's not going and he's like all over the news and it's going viral is because he was able to get away with it. He left the country, bro. Like everyone else, they got to stay here. They're most likely going to be arrested and go to jail for 20 years or life or whatever. I don't know. This dude just runs away. Just because he's Israeli? Are you serious? Is that not a double standard?
Not the Israeli guy. Hold on.
Okay.
Because, I'm just saying,
that's not it.
It isn't.
No, Adam, because you know what? Those other 7 are booked charged, and they have to go to court, and they're going to probably go to jail.
Okay, so
how
maybe
do you leave
you
the country? The one guy
become
I'm
an
worried about-
international lawyer and figure out what the relationship is with Israel and Nevada. I don't know. What I'm saying is
If you don't know, shut up. Why are you defending him? Like, shut up.
this. Multiple people were booked. Multiple people allegedly did this, and the only one we're talking about
Because he fled
is
the
the
co-
Israeli guy.
because he was
and if
allowed
we
to
want to
leave
have,
the-
if we want to go down the rabbit hole of who the goat of pedophilia is, look no further than the Catholic Church.
Whoa. They're talking about Israelis, bro. No one said anything about being Jewish. That's a low blow. I don't know if these guys are Catholic or not, but that's a low blow. And by the way, if you're going to go down that rabbit hole of the whole pedophilia thing, then forget that. What about Epstein? He had big ties to Israel, buddy. Big ties to Israel.
So I'm not sure what game you're playing right now.
Okay,
but
see,
if you're trying to make it out
I'm
like
I'm happy you went there, because this is the problem. This is the problem that you
Yes.
can't.
And this is why everyone hates on Adam. He says some dumb stuff, some out-of-pocket stuff, man.
go ahead.
Address is.
I addressed the problem. He's
No,
a
no, you
scumbag.
said, no, but you
throw
said,
him in jail.
you said everybody.
fell for the headline.
No. And Adam, you're getting emotional because you're making this.
Oh.
No, because
Go ahead.
Adam, I'm responding to a freaking headline that was all over the news on the weekend that I saw.
wrote
on
the
my,
headline?
on my own? I saw it all
Who
over.
wrote the headline?
What do you mean? Who?
Let me say something about that low IQ comment. Who wrote the headline? You know what he's saying that what for? You know why he's saying that? He's saying that because whatever name you say, he's just gonna be like, oh, see, fake news.
Wrote the headline.
Who wrote
There was
the
a bunch
headline?
of different outlets: The
Who-
Guardian,
this one that you're
Times of
reading.
Israel, the Jerusalem Post.
Exactly.
What
The
I'm-
Jerusalem Post
what I'm-
is actually
Adam, why is
calling
it
a crime out where it should be.
Why is
Okay, so if it's any other article that he doesn't believe, he's gonna be like fake news. If it's Jerusalem Post, then the argument becomes, well, see, they're actually calling a spade a spade. They're calling a crime a crime. So like, no matter what, he's not gonna say that he's wrong.
it mainstream
No, it
media covering?
didn't. The
No, no.
Jerusalem Post said
That's the
"Oh,
article
he
we're
was-
reading."
He was only held for questioning.
and that's
Love it, Tom. Uncle Tom's there to save the day, baby.
this came from BB's
this
office
was
saying he was
the
only
article
questioned.
you just read.
Okay, guys, let's do this. I'm not trying to make a 5-minute story a 20-minute story. Let me tell you where I'm at with this
Oh, please, you love it, PBD. Stop with the act. Come on, man.
here. It's very simple for me. Okay, and by the way, I'm the guy that interviewed the new owners of Pornhub and called them out, and it was one of the worst PR stunts that they did here, and it was a terrible look. And
Then PBD, where the heck is your outrage? You're usually so outraged by this kind of stuff. How are you so cool-minded and level-headed right now, huh? Trying to please both sides. That's what's going on, PBD, man. I'm losing a lot of respect for you and your show because of your views on Zionism and Israel and all that crap.
I brought the other lady, Micklewade, right after that interview, and she went after them. So I have no tolerance for stuff like this with kids whatsoever. Both things could be right. If this guy did this, and the other guys, because I pulled it up right now, I said, what is that crime in the state of Nevada? Okay. In Nevada, what happens if you do similar crime to what Tom Alexandrovich did? Luring a child with a computer for a sex act falls under Nevada revised statutes of 201, 560, 201, 570. Here's how it works. It's illegal for any adult to use the internet, text messaging, or other technology to lure or attempt persuade a minor to engage sexually. Category B felony. If convicted using a computer network to lure child sex act, classified category B, 1 to 10 years in prison, up to $10,000 fine. A conviction generally requires mandatory registration as a sex offender. Okay, so that's that part. Now, why did they release him? Of course, we're naive if we say it's not because he's tied to the government of Israel. If you are that delusional that you can't say there could be the influence that Bibi made a phone call and said, no, he's getting out of here, he's coming to us, and he's going to be judged here. True, that's that. 3, you think Bibi is happy the fact that he behaved this way? You think Bibi needs
No.
another story like this? No. So you think he's just going to go back there and say, good job, buddy, keep doing it?
No.
That's also not the case. So
You know what though? I bet internally they're like, listen, man, all you guys, we know you like this and all that. I'm sure. Listen, I don't think he was the only one. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people in those government official positions are doing this kind of stuff. I mean, that's serious, man. Like, I don't know. He's probably like, hey, man, listen, like we know you're kind of into that stuff, but just keep it on the low, man. Don't get caught doing it. That's all he's gonna say.
all of those 3 could be right, but a part of what Adam is also saying is right, because there is a community that there was a comedian that did something that I was looking at, Persian guy, I don't know who he is. He did this, which was very funny. He's showing a guy that's preparing for a podcast, and he's looking for stories. And he tells a story. What's the story? Well, what country has committed the most crime? Well, Syria, well, Egypt, with this, with that. No, what other country? Well, this, with that. Well, there was an Armenian that got hurt in Israel. That's the story we have to talk about. Put that at the top of the...
Really, PBD, you think that's funny? Do you really think that's funny? Like, the reason why the Israeli podcast topics do well is because everyone knows the crap Israel is doing. And they're trying to lie about it. And people believe it and people defend them. Everyone knows deep down they're wrong, man. That's why it's so blatant. Like, everyone can tell right from their own eyes the stuff they're seeing, and yet you see people defending it still. That's why it's going viral. There's no other reason, or else it would be just like any other topic. Why is it different? You tell me. Why is it different?
The story. So there is all...
Make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel. Please, only like 5% of you are subscribed. A lot of you forget to subscribe. Just press it. It takes a second. And yep, let's finish this video.
Also, this thing where the community that is completely been sabotaged, that the only thing they search for is, what can I do to talk shit about Israel? That's also there. And by the way, I have no problem with that. If that's the story that person wants to die on, go at it. Make your search engine to just show you stuff that's bad about Israel. I can sit there and also do the same for a lot of different people, but that's why I'm still reading the story, because I want the audience to say, this is what you wanted to know more about. You ought to know it. If he did that, the guy belongs in jail, and make sure everybody in prison knows what he was trying to do, so they can do to him what he was trying to do to another